The Rarest Snakes in the World Part 2. The snakes you'll see next will not only surprise you by their dangerousness, but also by their strange behavior and unique appearance. Spiny Bush Viper. Do you like snakes?
Get a little sugar now.
Do you like dragons? Well, the spiny bush viper is a rare combination of both, since it has dorsal scales located in such a way that they give it a bristly and somewhat fierce appearance similar to that of a small dragon. It lives in the Central Africa's rainforests, where it's possible to find it sunbathing on the leaves and bushes. Sometimes the colors of their scales can be of different tonalities, such as blue, brown, or green. On the other hand, the males can reach a greater length of up to 28.7 inches long. The spiny bush viper eats small mammals and lizards, which are hunted by itself using the ambush technique. This amazing climber usually uses its tail to hang from the branches when it ambushes and hunt its prey that are exactly below. For human beings, the bites of the spiny bush viper are deadly if they don't go to a first aid center. In addition, some people have died as a result of internal bleeding caused by its potent venom. Rainbow boa. This striking orange snake with dark circles becomes much more colorful when it's in contact with sunlight. Its scales have ripples that bounce sunlight and make its skin have an iridescent sheen. For that reason, many compare it with a rainbow. The rainbow boa lives in the forests of South America and can be found climbed in trees. It can measure more than 6.5 feet in length and has, as its main source of food, the small mammals and reptiles that are killed by constriction. That is, wrapping their prey and suffocating them. After that, they swallow them completely, starting at the head, causing its digestion to take between 4 and 10 days. Paradise flying snake. You just have to see it slide in the sky so that you understand why it's called flying snake.
He can fly! He can fly!
But wait. If you look carefully, you'll realize that more than flying, it slides in the air.
That wasn't flying! That was falling with style!
What it really does is to jump from the tree branches and glide. Now, you must be wondering how an animal without wings does to glide, right? Well, at the time of the jump, the flying snake spreads its ribs and contracts the abdomen, which creates a slight concavity in the lower part of its body that helps it remain airborne longer. If at that moment you chop the snake, you would realize that its shape resembles the curvature of a boomerang. On the other hand, this snake gives the impression of being swimming in the air when it begins to twist its body in full flight. What's more, it's able to change direction. So if you want to see it fly, you'll have to visit it in Southeast Asia. But never fear, because although it's venomous, its toxicity does not affect the human being. So don't worry if it lands on your head. Spider-tailed horned viper. This snake hunts in a very special way.
I have my own subtle little ways.
Do you see this spider? Well, it's not what it seems. Poor little bird, it fell into the trap. This viper was discovered in 1968 as part of a scientific expedition to western Iran. Thus, the first specimen was delivered to the Field Museum of Natural History at Chicago, where scientists initially thought that this snake had a spider of the order Solifugae attached to its tail. Sometime after, this theory was ruled out, and it was thought that its tail had a tumor caused by parasites. It wasn't until 2003, the year in which a second specimen was found, when it was determined that this was one of the few snakes that used a part of its body as bait to lure prey closer. At the hunting time, the snake moves its spider-shaped tail in such a way that it seems to have a life of its own. And if that wasn't enough, the face of this snake is not so much nice either.
It's hideous!
This is because its face is covered with circular scales shaped like warts. All this makes it so it can become camouflaged well with the surrounding terrain, pretending to be like any other rock. Barbados thread snake. This is the smallest snake in the world, and it inhabits forests of the paradisiacal Caribbean island of Barbados. The longest specimen found of this family measures just 4.09 inches in length. Moreover, in the social networks circulates an amazing picture of this snake on a $quarter coin with a diameter of 0.95 inches. The discoverer of this little species was Stephen Blair Hedges, who, in honor of his wife named Carla, gave it the scientific name of Leptotyphlops carle. According to Hedges, the thread snake is as wide as a spaghetti noodle. Due to its small size, it can only feed on a diet of termites and ant larvae. Eastern hognose snake. This snake is rare because it has a crushed pig-like nose. It lives in areas with dry soils, pine forests, and grasslands in eastern North America and some parts of southern Canada. There, it feeds on mice, small reptiles, toads, and frogs. On the other side, its rear teeth inject a toxic substance that, while it affects its prey, is not lethal to humans, although it does cause swelling. These teeth also serve it to deflate the body of the toads and eat them better. What's more, it can even eat toxic amphibians without being affected by its venom. Poor little ones, they don't have that defense mechanism anymore.
I don't know what to do next.
As if this weren't enough, this snake also has a rare behavior when it meets humans. At the beginning, it'll rise as a cobra does and will hiss. However, if it continues feeling in danger, it'll simply attack, but without biting, just giving headings. If the fear still continues, it'll pretend to have a seizure and will lie on its back as if it were dead. Such a manipulative one, and Oscar for its amazing performance, please. Blue coral snake. Contrary to what you can assume by its name, the blue coral snake is a terrestrial animal and its denomination refers to its pretty intense color. The blue coral snake enjoys being on the ground, especially in the accumulations of fallen leaves of the trees. It inhabits in Southeast Asia on the islands of Borneo, Sumatra, Java, and on the peninsula of Malacca. The spread of its venom glands is a rarity in itself. In most vipers, these glands are only located in the back of the mouth, whereas in the blue coral snake, venom glands extend over a quarter the length of its body. In addition, it feeds on other venomous snakes, which increases the danger of its venom. A bitten person will experience numbness in the wound area and on the lips. After that, the venom will block the neurotransmitters, which will cause muscle paralysis followed by respiratory arrest and death. So you'd better run while you can. Red spitting cobra. Spitting is a serious business, and more if it's the red spitting cobra.
Absolutely beautiful snake.
If a human makes it feel threatened, it'll extend the skin around its head and will hiss. If the human doesn't retreat, it may spray jets of venom to the face of the human until he goes blind. It's easy to recognize this type of cobra since its body is red with a black band around the head, although there are specimens with an orange body. Besides, it lives in East Africa, from Egypt to Kenya, and it likes to hide in the burrows of termites, old logs, and weeds. The red spitting cobra reaches up to 4.9 feet. Like all snakes, it usually eats frogs and rodents, although it's also a cannibal since the adult snakes can eat their young. For this reason, young snakes of this species have a diurnal behavior, so that they cannot be eaten by the adult snakes that have a nocturnal behavior. Black mamba. This snake is one of the most venomous in the world. Furthermore, not happy with that, it has a rather malevolent appearance for its black jaws. It lives in sub-Saharan Africa and likes to eat small chickens and rodents. Bon appetit! In addition, the black mamba measures between 6.6 feet and 9.8 feet. In short, it's longer than a human being, so it's practically impossible to escape if it takes the decision to bite you. When it perceives a threat or detects a human in less than 130 feet, it stands up, shows its jaws, sticks out its tongue, and hisses. On the other hand, whenever it attacks, it jumps over its enemy and delivers a series of bites. That is why, due to the length of the black mamba, most bites on humans occur from the waist up. The most critical thing is that the victim only has 45 minutes to reach an antidote before collapsing. California red-sided garter snake. It's one of the most colorful snakes in the world. The California red garter snake has 3 blue stripes, and among them a pattern formed by black spots on a reddish background. These characteristics make it different from its relative, the San Francisco garter snake, whose red stripes are not interrupted. Besides, the average total length of the California red-sided garter snake is 21 inches, but it can reach up to 39 inches. On the other hand, it inhabits the state of California, specifically in the dunes and marshes of the San Francisco Peninsula, where it feeds on amphibians, small birds, rodents, and fish, such as this one that, although it's in captivity, it feasts with a live fish. If you run into them, you shouldn't be very afraid, since their toxic saliva only affects their prey, but not humans who can only feel pain, swelling, and itching. I'm sure that with a little bit of care, you'll be able to admire its beauty. If these strange snakes left you with an open jaw, don't forget to share this video on social networks, subscribe to the channel, and give me a thumbs up. TrendMax is a channel full of venomous curiosities. If you want more of these videos, click on this one, this other one, and this other video too.